Every city and town seems to have one, a project that's been studied and debated forever. It might be a bridge, a ring road, or a big downtown development, or in Toronto, the Island Airport. We like to think of this story as one in a series of why nothing ever seems to get done. On a foggy day, the city center airport on Toronto Island has the look of an old movie set, conjuring up images of Casablanca, where Bogart said goodbye to Bergman. But there are plans, big plans, to transform it into one of the busiest downtown airports anywhere. It's just 5 minutes from the Sky Dome and the Bay Street Towers. Other cities look on with envy. The airport manager is Alex Holm.
I've had colleagues from London City, from Berlin, from Belfast. They've been here to Toronto, they've seen the location, and they've said, by far and away, we have the best location of any city center airport.
Prime location, but wait a minute, the place is practically deserted. Aside from a handful of commuter flights, some private aviation, and a flying school, it's almost a ghost airport.
This morning, we're not that busy. Our morning flight at 7:15 is usually busy, and our flights inbound are busy.
So what's going on here? Well, there are regulations banning most airliners, including jets. In fact, the only airliners allowed are these locally built ones from de Havilland. But never mind, the real business of the airport is not planes and passengers. The real business is studying the airport. Make it bigger, make it smaller, close it all together. Over the years, there have been not 10, not 50, but 104 airport studies. At Toronto Island, the airport people aren't pilots and passengers, they're consultants and lawyers, lots of lawyers.
Studies are a growth industry as far as the city center airport. It's been a very political item with the various levels of government, and I've put a major part of my effort to that direction.
Take this temporary check-in. Various authorities studied it again, and then studied it 4 times after that. 6 studies for $140,000. Lawyers charged another $300,000. With all that studying and lawyering, this place ended up costing over $1 million, and it's just a prefab. Over at City Hall, they seem to like it that way. Studies are safe. They don't crash and burn, or even scare the seagulls. And if there's noise overhead, it's usually in the council chamber.
I am hearing that this is really about how many toys can the boys play with.
They're Toronto politicians, and looking on, members of various interest groups, settling in for what turned out to be 5 hours of talk about the airport. The question, whether or not to retire the old ferry that carries passengers from the mainland and build a bridge, or maybe dig a tunnel. That'd open things up all right, turn it from a money loser into a busy commercial enterprise, perhaps even with a new terminal and commuter jets. They've been having this very argument on and off for years, for decades, going by a former mayor, Phil Givens. Do you think you will see a modern airport there? Do you think your kids will see a modern airport there?
There'll be grass growing down Yonge Street. I mean, I'll be long gone. And with great respect, even you.
Phil Givens had heard it all before. He was mayor when they opened this city hall and put a Henry Moore sculpture in the square. But that was back in the 60s, at the tail end of a time when if you needed subways, freeways, or skyscrapers, you went ahead and built them. No more. With all this process and all these studies, can you really ever build anything anymore?
I really don't think so. The minute you ask people who are supposed to be theoretically affected, invariably 9 out of 10 will say no, whether they are really affected or not. NIMBY, not in my backyard.
And whose backyard are we talking about? Mary Hay has a little place on Toronto Island, not far from the runways, and she knows her way around City Hall. She heads the Waterfront Coalition, wizards of the petition.
We, the undersigned, demand the preservation of Toronto's waterfront as an invaluable asset for the citizens.
Expansion? They're dead set against it. The weapons here are petitions and, of course, studies. Take noise. Planes are noisy, aren't they?
I phone and complain if my windows rattle, I phone and complain if it's at a totally inappropriate time of night.
So this is the secret weapon. So Alex Holmes studied the matter and came up with a machine that measures the sound of the planes.
There's the airplane.
It's picked up by microphones and shown on the screen as a number.
And we should see a
20 is like a still evening. 110's a jackhammer.
56, 57, 58. So that's what? That's about like a conversation, but a lot less than a freeway or a busy street.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So if noise is not the problem, where does that leave Mary Hay?
Alec would like to trivialize this issue by saying it's solely a noise issue. And the reality is that noise is one aspect of it. It's certainly not the predominant one for a lot of people.
But surely you're just changing the ground. I mean, it started out as a noise issue. Now he's got the magic machine that can prove
No.
out if it's groundless, so you're shifting the ground here.
When did it start out as a noise issue?
So what else can you study? At Pearson International across town, there may be a clue. They wanted to extend some runways, and that turned out to be more than laying pavement. Steve Lindley's firm did the consulting. The book is just the summary of 4 years' work. They looked at everything, even the dirt, what it was like 9,000 years ago.
Well, we have to be concerned about archaeological issues.
And what else?
You look at noise effects and other effects of the proposal and how they may change that quality of life from the residents' perception, and that's basically what it's about.
But that would include such nitty-gritty stuff as how often they barbecue,
Sure, it could.
what time they go to bed at night.
Sure.
That was all studied with Pearson.
Yes, those were all components of the social impact assessment.
Grist, perhaps, for Mary Hay. Her group has hired environmental lawyers to push for more study before anybody goes building any bridge. But after 104 studies, what's left? Plenty. For starters, you could restudy the emissions from the planes and the runoff from glycol used to de-ice the wings. In fact, if it flies, study it.
You've got migratory birds, you have residential birds, and you have to have bird clearance programs.
And you're going to fight to the bitter end?
Obviously, I'm determined enough that we keep doing it in the face of the fact that some people think that we're absolutely nuts.
And your best weapon now?
Our best weapon is this. People are
Well,
really...
is it the petition
angry.
or is it the studies?
It will be the studies if the proper studies get done. And that is our overwhelming concern.
Let's take a vote.
In the end, City Council decided to keep the jets out, but go ahead and build a bridge. Sort of. First, of course, there will be more studies.
There'll be the environmentalist study. Then they'll squabble about the environmental study. That black is white and white is black, and the sun won't shine, and the atmosphere will be polluted, and one thing and another, and everybody will put in their 2 cents worth.
And is City Council different now than it was when you were there?
I think it's worse. The whole political system, whether it's here or the United States or anywhere else, I think it's worse.
What, nobody makes a
Democracy,
decision?
I think democracy is strangling itself.
Phil Givens won't get to see what happens next. He had heart trouble for some years, and a few weeks after our interview, died in hospital. He's remembered and respected in Toronto as a politician who could get things done.